Headaches and Heartaches on Midlands Today. Brought to you by the beautiful Abbey Blooms Botanical Gardens and Cafe Community Initiative in Multifarnon, County Westmeath. A wonderful space for relaxation designed to promote positive mental health and well-being for all. Find Abbey Blooms Botanical Gardens on Facebook.
Now, welcome back to the programme. It's time for our Headaches and Heartaches slot. I'm joined in studio by Rory Hafford. Good morning, Rory.
Aidan, how are you?
It's good to talk to you.
You too.
You're living in Forum Westmeath and work in Lusnagrena.
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 Up in Granard.
Up in Granard, very good. The Family Resource Centre there as well. Okay. So listen, it's great to have you in studio. Good to meet you again as well.
You're very kind. Very kind.
Let's start with our first issue here. This is Jenny, who lives in Westmeath. She says none of her friends like her husband, right? You're not supposed to laugh.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Did that come out? I only meant to think that. Go on.
Okay. Anyway, none of her friends like her husband. He's loud, he's opinionated, but she says he has a heart of gold. But her friends say terrible things and question their relationship, and they won't call over to the house if he's at home. What can she do?
He's loud and opinionated. It's not Will Faulkner, is it? Because I don't see the name. That's a joke, Will. That's a joke. In case you're
Will.
tripping over chairs to get to the phone. Well, do you know what?
It must be. I'd say that's a common thing. Isn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and all the stuff that we're going to touch on today is more common than you realise. Yeah. But simple solution: get rid of the hubby. Or get rid of the friends. You see, life is simple when you do it in black and white. Or change your attitude to the whole problem. I mean, the vow was for better or for worse. Yeah. Certainly in my day. Do you know what I mean? So it's not, I will love you at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning until 10:30 because you're in good form then. Okay? That's conditional love, which is not love at all. So the unconditionality is very important in relation to this. There's some argument in relation to that as well, but for this, that's fine. So we're talking about unconditional acceptance of another human being. But what I find more and more, and it's not only in the older generation, but particularly in the younger one, is instant gratification. Okay. They don't really like working through a problem. They want the solution now. It's the Google life. Okay. It's YouTube. So I can log onto my phone and I can get instant gratification there and then, right there. So I don't actually have to work at it. And this now is causing huge psychological problems because people are not phones. People are not YouTube. People are not Google. People are fundamentally flawed for the most part. Yeah. But you have to work through that, and you have to find a way. We're all flawed. It's not kind of I'm better than you or that kind of stuff. I love this. They won't call to the house. Now, this brings up another issue which I'm seeing more and more often in the clinics that I run. They are actually punishing Jenny. They're punishing Jenny because they don't like her husband. So they have decided to expunge her from the world, yes. Okay? They have decided to ostracize her. They have decided to diminish her. For what? Because they don't like her husband? So what's the answer to that? Get rid of the husband? Stick a muzzle on him? I mean, this is nonsense stuff. But really what it is passive aggression. Now, passive aggression can be enormously damaging. And people do it with such ease. Bang, you're gone. I'm not talking to you. You're gone. Think about what that does to the psyche, to your own psychology, to your own sense of self. You are not even worth me talking to. Now, if you want to know more on this, folks, I wrote a book on it. Will and I talked about it at length, and it's called A Savage Silence, and it deals in great part with the whole issue of passive aggression, its rise to infamy, and the fact that it is now endemic almost. Right. If I don't like you, I expunge you from the world. I don't speak to you.
You're not going to work on it.
It's an awful thing, Aidan.
And then, of course, obviously, if they start to exclude her from the group and so on, and she needs that, everybody needs another outlet other than your marriage and your thing. You need to meet your friends and so on like that. And if that has been affected, then that affects your marriage.
Of course it does, yeah. One will lead to the other. Yeah. And then you build up associations. When she looks at the hubby, she'll go, oh, you're the guy who's
causing me all this bother.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But the thing is, I think in relation to this, you have to stay strong and be true to yourself. Okay? Now, here's the other thing. He's loud, he's boorish, maybe he's just confident. And traditionally, Irish people have a big problem with confidence. They see it as arrogance. And a case in point, I remember this from years back, the boxer Stevie Collins, the guy from Cabra. So Stevie won the world championship. He was the world champion. And his big thing was, I'm going to show this belt in every town in Ireland. And when he came back, he said, people didn't seem to like me. I mean, he's the world champion, for God's sake. He's a boxer. He has to have self-belief.
Exactly.
They said he was arrogant. So they took confidence and they turned it into arrogance. Have you ever seen a boxer in the ring who is not confident in his own ability? He won't be in the ring too long. So
Isn't there an element of that going on with the Irish rugby team at the moment? We're nearly afraid to believe.
Yeah.
It's the All Blacks. Last week it could be a banana skin with the Scots. This weekend, the All Blacks.
Absolutely. Yeah, but do you know what?
Yeah. You dare to even say they're good enough to win.
But Aidan, that's it. And again, this would be... Maybe it's a push to say that it's typically Irish, but it's certainly very common amongst us that if we've a choice to think negatively about something or positively about something, damn it, I'm going negative because it probably won't happen and I'll prepare for the disappointment now. Right. The problem with that is you manifest negativity as opposed to positivity. So if you think positive stuff, that's an energy. Every thought that you have is powered by energy. And if you put that out into the world, that's what you get back. You attract that back. And that's not opinion, by the way. So if you have a choice, negative, positive, I'm going positive.
Absolutely.
You know, what the hell? And the other thing that she said in her text was, this man has a heart of gold. Yeah. Now, a heart of gold is hard to find.
True.
So I'm going to stick with the hubby on this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. Okay.
Hear Midlands today, tomorrow. Missed anything this morning? Catch the repeat at midnight tonight. Or listen back anytime on Midlands103.com. Midlands 103.
Now, it's Headaches and Heartaches here on Midlands today, and we're joined in studio by Rory Hafford. Rory, the second item that we have today is kind of linked to the first one. A listener in Athlone says her sister has started seeing a guy and she can see signs of coercive control as she has been through it herself. But her sister won't listen and things are getting serious and they're talking about moving in together. What can she do? Now, I know it's different to the first one, but there's probably a bit of a connection there as well.
There is. There's definitely a link there. The thing that jumps out at me from this is two words, coercive control. And again, certainly in psychotherapeutic circles, the collective we, are seeing a lot more of this. Okay? People trying to tell you what to do. And if not, will punish you. And that's the link to the first item. In our country, coercive control is a criminal offence. And I'm not sure that a lot of people know that, and certainly not the people who actually carry it out. And it also carries with it a large fine, obviously, because that's the Irish way, and 5 years behind jail, or behind bars in jail. Yeah, 5 years. So it's a serious state of affairs with this. But coercive control itself it's a deprivation of your human rights. And it manifests through assault, humiliation, bullying, thought control. I mean, this is serious stuff. You'd have to ask yourself, what kind of a human being would engage in that and foist it on another human being?
And the worrying thing in this is that the sister herself has experienced this, has knowledge, and she's seeing signs of this in her siblings.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this clearly comes from a place of concern and love for the sister. So that can't be diminished. There's a however.
Okay.
This is the sister's choice. Did I tell you who to marry? No. So this is the sister's choice. And this is the sister's journey in life. It's her decision. And only she can end this or choose to continue it. The mistakes that we make are ours to make. And you've probably heard this well-worn saying that you learn more through your mistakes than the stuff that turns out correctly, because you have to dig deeper into the self to find out what happened and to correct it and make sure that it doesn't happen again. I do find as well that there's an increase in, and I'm not saying that this woman who's texted in fits into this category, so this is talking broadly and generally. There is an increase in the high moral ground crew. Do you know the fellas who can't do anything wrong? Everything they think, say, feel and do is correct. So I am the yardstick
I'm the
for
authority on this.
Yeah. And we all know somebody who falls into that category, but they are on the increase. So for me, yeah, I'd take it on board. I'd certainly take it on board with this woman here, because you can tell the concern from the text, but it is still my life to live and my mistakes to make. Now, she is with this man, coercive control and all, for a good reason.
Okay.
And that's her reason.
All right. We move on because we're under a little bit of pressure from the clock.
I feel under pressure.
Do you know? I'm sorry to do
yeah,
that to you.
It's okay.
I'm sorry to do that. Kevin in Offaly, he says he has trouble with his temper. He flies off the handle so easily, and he knows it's impacting his relationships. Has Rory any advice?
No.
Anger management classes.
But anger management is the two words that will jump out at you almost immediately, and it's a twee stereotypical solution to the problem. I'm not so sure. I'd go a different way. I'd go the more philosophical route on this. To me, this is, and I say this with respect to Conor McGregor, whose father I knew as a child, would you believe? Right. This is the Conor McGregor impact. Everybody's walking around and they're furious and they're angry and they're aggressive and they're looking to have a go at you. I see this all the time. Maybe it's something to do with me, but I certainly see it all the time. But that's the what. The what is, this guy has a temper. The way you fix it is to look at the why. Why does he have a temper? You can't say, and in healthcare circles, I find more and more people are just settling for the what. What is wrong with this child? Well, he has ADHD, or he is on the spectrum, and he's a problem child. Why? If you delve into the why, you therefore have to fix it. You have some direction in which to fix it. So I'd say that to this guy here. I mean, is it your job? Is it your relationship? Is it yourself? Is it your life? Hone in on the root cause and work on that. And if you address the root cause, you then have some direction into the effect, because the root cause manifesting as temper or anger. I have a couple of little steps. How are we fixed for time there? How are we fixed?
We're good. I'll tell you what, we might focus on this one.
Yeah, okay.
It's an important one. Okay, all right.
Okay, step number 1. When you feel anger beginning to bubble up in you, step back and breathe. Now, this advice is as old as time, and people kind of ignore it to a great degree. But if you do focus on the breath, you're bringing yourself into the now. And in the now is the only place that you have real control. Not in the past, not in the future, now. So you control it. Anger accesses the emotional brain. So you don't have time to think rationally. You're not switching on the big neocortex. It's the limbic system. It's the emotional brain that goes. Now, that you can't think clearly when you're in the grip of that. 2, burn off the anger. Go for a run.
I was going to say how.
Go to a gym.
Go to a gym.
Yeah, go for a run. Go to a gym. So the excess, what does the anger do? It increases the input of adrenaline into the system, which is, to all intents and purposes, rocket fuel to make us move or fight. And we're doing none of these, so it's just a frustrating thing. So burn it off. Burn it off. Go for a run, and it'll get you away maybe from the trigger in the first place. 3, talk to somebody. For the love of God, talk to somebody and figure out the reason, the root cause. And even if you have that somebody to talk to, that's your go-to when you feel anger bubbling up inside you. Here's another one. If you're angry, do something like martial arts. If this guy is serious, I run a little martial arts school in Mullingar. You wouldn't think to look at me because I'm
I think there's an element of martial arts going on there, Rory. You can be proud of
that. He is welcome. He is welcome to come to me Friday evenings, Sunday mornings, and channel this power that he has in a different direction. For me, this is about solutions. Like, there's too much focus on the problem in this country, in my humble opinion. There's too much. What about solutions? If you focus on the problem, you protect the problem. But there's always a way out if you just look in that direction. And I used to know this guy who had a similar problem, but he changed it around slightly. And when he felt that feeling bubble up in him, he rewarded it.
Right.
Do you know how he did it?
How?
Toast. He would make toast. Yeah. So every time he felt anger, he'd run for the toaster. And he loved toast. Do you know what I mean? So he changed the association with this feeling.
You just have to look at the toast?
He changed the thing to something positive. You know what I mean? Because when we feel anger or temper or everything, we think, oh, that's a negative thing, you know, and we should treat it in a negative way. So he used this stereotypically negative feeling and made feckin' toast. Yeah. And that was his way out. So it became, rather than something to be feared, something that fed him.
Okay. Very good. Okay, we got to leave it there, Rory.
No, do another one.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We're right up against the clock here. We're actually a minute something over already. That absolutely flew. I'm so sorry that we didn't get to the other ones. Anyway, we were listening there, Headaches and Heartaches, and that was Rory Hafford, and he's psychotherapist, author, living in 4, and Lus na Gréine Family Resource Centre in Granard. That's where you'll get him. What was the name of the book you mentioned?
A Savage Silence.
A Savage Silence.
Yeah, you can get it on roryhafford.com.
Okay, good man. Okay, that's it. All righty, we got to leave it there. Thank you so much, Rory. And just thanks to Sinead Hubble, by the way, and all the team here on Midlands today. Ashin O'Rourke is in tomorrow, and I'm back on the radio on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Talk to you then.
Midlands 103. Midlands Today with Bus Éireann. Use your TFI Young Adult or Student Leap Card on board Bus Éireann services as part of the Transport for Ireland network. Visit buséireann.ie today.